Hello and welcome to the next lesson in the series Learn to Play the Violin with Me, where I use my experience as a musician and a certified music teacher to teach myself how to play the violin and you as well. So I'm teacher and student, and I'm so glad you're with me on this journey. Grab your violin, your bow, make sure it's tuned and your bow is rosined, and we'll get started. 15-minute timer is set. Let's do this. When we last left off, we were on page 18 of Essential Elements Violin Book 1. We had just finished number 57, Tribal Lament. We are starting to put our fingers down on the strings while we use the bow. So our brains are doing a ton of things at once at this point. Let's review number 57 before we move on to number 58. So 57 has us on the D string. So the four notes of the D string are open D, one finger for E, two fingers for F sharp, and three fingers for G. Number 57, Tribal Lament, uses all four of those. So let's see what we remember from last time. We're starting with a down bow, which means we're going to the right from frog to tip. That's what that symbol is above the very first note, E. Let's do it. We're starting with one finger, E. Let's try it. Number 57. 1, 2, ready, and. Did you remember to do your bow lift on the very last beat of the line? And did you play it twice because of the repeat sign? Very good. All right, let's look at number 58. This is bowing D. Now we're moving to the open A string. The four notes we know on the open A string are open A, one finger for B, two for C sharp, and three for high D. So we'll be focusing on those four notes for the next couple pieces. Let's look at 58 and let's try it. So high D, the fourth line note going up, has a 3 at the above it, which means we're using three fingers or the third finger. And then we have the symbol of the rectangle house looking thing. That is a down bow. So we're starting with a down bow. Let's try to sight read number 58. And if you look across, you'll see that the only note we're playing is D. The reason I do that is so that I can make sure my fingers are on the right spot. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. All right. Let's try that again. I noticed myself personally that I heard accidentally I was playing the lower D string, which means my bow, just like last lesson, was tilted a little too far to the left. So I need to continue to work on that angle to make sure that I'm only playing one string at a time. So that's something that I'm going to be working on when we play through this once again. Also, I'm experimenting with lifting the bow a little bit during the rests. For me, it's hard. I kind of get like a screech a little bit when I keep the bow on the string during the rest because you have to stop the bow at the same time as the rest begins. And I get like, if I move it a tiny little bit, I get like a screechy sound. So I'm trying to lift it a little bit. So you can try that as well. Whatever is the most comfortable and whatever you think gets the best sound for you. 58. D. 1, 2, ready, play. All right. I accidentally hit the D string one time So that's better than what it's been. So improvement, that's good. Let's look at 59, little steps. The two notes we're playing in here are D and C sharp, the third space note going up. The reason it's called little steps is C sharp and D are only a half step apart, which is the smallest interval of notes that we recognize in our music. In Eastern countries, in Eastern music, they will do even smaller intervals of music, but in Western culture here, the half note is recognized as the smallest interval that we play on our instruments. So it's called little steps. That's why your fingers, your second and third fingers are pretty much touching, because C sharp is only slightly lower than D. So D is 3 fingers, C sharp is 2. Let's get them in the right position. Okay, let's try little steps. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try that again. Find something that you want to improve on. For me, on this playthrough, I'm going to work on changing my bow direction at the precise moment that I lift or put on an additional finger, so that my note changes are nice and clear, and I'm not hearing the tiny little remnant of the last note if it's not done at the exact same time. So I'm going to work on that precision there for this run through. I'm also going to make sure that my left wrist is straight, that I'm not putting it up here with the belt. 59. 1, 2, ready, and. Let's try it one more time. I noticed that my bow was sliding like this a little bit, so that means I wasn't putting enough pressure on it. Let's try it one more time. 59. 1, 2, ready, and. Whoa, started at the wrong angle, accidentally hit both strings. 1, 2, ready, and. All right, I'm going to try that one more time. If you want to skip the next 15 seconds because yours was perfect, that's all good. I'm going to try it one more time because I kept hitting that D string. Ugh. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, fixed for now. Let's look at number 60, elevator down. All right, let's check out the notes we're playing. We start with D, the next note is C sharp. We have those for a while, and then in measure 3 is a B, which is the third line note going up, every good boy. And then we have open A next to it, the second space note going up. So we are playing all 4 notes that we know on the A string. Let's try it nice and slow. Number 60. 1, 2, ready, and. Whoops, sorry. I could tell that D was too high. My third finger was up too high, sorry. A, B, C sharp, D. All right, I'm making sure that my fingers are in the correct position. Should have done that beforehand. 1, 2, ready, and. Rest. 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 I noticed that my bow was sliding more. So I'm going to put a little bit more rosin on my bow just to make sure that it has enough grip on it. I thought it would be fine, but it doesn't seem like it is fine. So we're just going to put a little bit on. Remember, go from frog to tip. Between 3 and 5 passes should be good. All right, let's try it. Here we go. Number 60, let's try elevator down again. Let's find the correct finger position. Okay, here we go. Let's try 60. 1, 2, ready, and. All right, let's try one more time. All right, the reason we're putting all the fingers down and checking before we start is just to develop that muscle memory. As we progress through the book and beyond, we won't have to do that. Eventually, we won't have to do that, but for now, it's just good to continue to create and strengthen that muscle memory. 60, 1, 2, ready, and. Nope. Let's try it again. My angle was too far to the left. Also, try not to look at your violin strings as much as possible. I'm saying that as much to you as to myself. 60, 1, 2, ready, and. Wow, now my D was too high. Here we go, so sorry. 1, 2, ready, and. Let's try that again. Our brains are doing so much during this that it makes sense that we need to kind of work out the kinks by playing it a few times over and over again. 60, 1, 2, ready, and. Sorry for that exasperated sigh in the middle there. Let's try that again. So you should always have a reason that you're practicing, that you're going over something again. There's always something in mind that you're consciously trying to improve. For this run through, I am going to practice on my bow angle. We sense a theme. Eventually it won't be an issue, but for now this is a speed bump for me. Here we go. Elevator down. 1, 2, ready, and. We did it. If you're struggling with anyone in particular, feel free to pause it at any point. But for now, with our last minute and a half, we're going to move to page 19. Let's look at 61, elevator up. Now we're going the opposite direction. Still on the A string, so we're using A, B, C sharp, and D. We're just going the opposite direction, starting on open A. Let's sight read it and see how it goes, nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, decent. I accidentally played the D string once or twice, so let's try it again. I'll continue working on that angle. And also, I'm going to try using a little bit more bow this time. 1, 2, ready, and... Oh, good timing. Because I wanted to use more bow, that meant I was increasing the speed, but I forgot to also apply more pressure because remember, speed and pressure have to be matching up to get the cleanest sound. So let's try it one more time, and I'm gonna remember to add a little more pressure when I play because I've increased the speed. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, that's a good spot to leave off for today, and we will pick up at the top of page 19 next lesson. I'll see you then.